Hi, this is Light and Bone Tarot. Thank you so much for being here and letting me read for you. We are doing a reading. It's about love and relationships, and it's entitled Let Them See This Side of You. So this is going to be about like a side of you you need to reveal or show or like open up about. Just something you can do that they're going to want to see in you that's going to make them like very happy. Something that's going to kind of like pull them in and draw them to you a little bit more. And I don't know, it could be something like about being vulnerable or being just, I don't know, more open-minded or whatever it is. But it's just, it's just a friendly suggestion. These are 4 oracle cards. So pick the picture, the colors, whatever it is that jumps out at you, it's going to be your pile. So we have, I'm going to zoom in for like a second. We have solitude, illumination, blessings, and embracing. And yeah, it's just, maybe it's a word, maybe it's a picture, color, theme, whatever, but that's your pile. So jump to your pile. There's a timestamp in the description, and that is your reading. So again, solitude, illumination, blessings, and embracing. And this is, let them see the side of you. Show them this piece of you that maybe you haven't revealed yet. And the idea is that it would go over very well. So, okay. Thank you. I look forward to reading for you. Bye. And thank you so much for being here and letting me read for you. This is Light and Bone Tarot, and we are doing a relationship reading entitled Let Them See This Side of You. So this is going to be something that you can show them or reveal, or something you've been like holding back, or maybe you know you need to work on this. It's really something that's going to make you guys stronger, and it's going to help your relationship or your dynamic or your partnership, whatever it is. But I am going to gear this towards like a romantic relationship. So, okay, you picked solitude, and I don't know really if solitude is going to have I don't know, maybe they do need to see like a calm in you or a peace or something. Maybe there's something to this, but right now I'm just calling it the pile you picked, and then we'll see if we can tie it in. But I don't really think that's like where the story lies. But this is the tarot deck I'm going to use, and then I've picked some oracle cards that I'm actually just going to put out here first to kind of get a story of maybe like what you are showing this person. Just let me just see a story here with where you are right now. Okay. So we have over here, we have determination in yellow and my dear friend. The determination to me is very much this like, kind of like your gut. It's getting up more into like your solar plexus. It's I don't know, the things that are like turning and burning and working within you. It's not quite that fire from like your sacral or your root, but it's getting more into like that innate passion, the innate workings of you, which sounds really, really vague right now, but I'm just getting a picture of like what you can show them. Okay, we have defend to the end, the worthwhile, and protection. So I'm going to say, to me, there's something about opening up. There's definitely something about, I wouldn't say there's fear here, but there's something about like letting go of fear. Like if it feels good to open up to this person, if you kind of like want to show a more vulnerable side, but you've been afraid to, or there's this part of you that's like holding back, that's protecting, that's maybe kind of like built this wall. And it does feel like there's this protective piece around you. I do think that you see your person as a friend, and maybe even first and foremost as a friend. Like I actually think you can trust them. You just haven't really shown them that you can trust them. There's something here about like, let them see this more just almost like needy side of you, this part of you that is, I'm probably going to say the word vulnerable quite a bit, but like that's really what I get here. And maybe you are kind of this like lone wolf that really can go in it alone and solve your own problems, and you don't need anyone and you get through it. And maybe that's how you've been like your whole life. But I think in regards to this relationship with this person, if they saw like a less independent side of you, I think that would be cool. And also too, like maybe if you like, I almost feel like you're treating this person of more of a friend than, let's say, like, I don't know, a lover. Maybe you're like they could be so much more and you could show them so much more and you guys could be so much more, but like you just have to, it just comes down to this vulnerability. And it's that part of you that would be like open with them as a friend, but also as like, you know, someone that you're like romantically involved with, like a little bit of both. And for something tells me that's like very, I don't know, hard for you or maybe scary. And this to me, there's very much like trust your gut piece to this. Like if you did kind of trust your gut and open up, or maybe even like broach certain topics or allow yourself to talk about certain things or ask questions that brought on certain topics, you would probably show them a lot more of yourself and then get a lot more out of the dynamic. I just feel that off of these oracle cards. So let's look into some tarot and let me see where you guys excel as a couple right now, and then I want to see what you just can show them. But I want to see like some of your guys' strengths, because I do think you have I think there's an absolute bond between you guys, and I do think there's actually a strong amount of trust, but it's something about you just keeping something like blocked behind, you know. Okay, so let's get you unblocked, but I want to see what's great about you guys as a couple right now. And we have Temperance, so right away I feel like there's a balance here. 7 of Swords and 2 of Cups. Okay, sorry, I have to think about this for a second. 2 of Cups to me is a very loved up romantic card. It's a very, very sweet card. So yes, I do think you guys very much love and care about each other. However, it doesn't mean that there's like a full-on romantic vibe here. It could be like you, for some reason, there's an element of romance that I see lacking. And it's funny, I've seen this a lot in a lot of my readings. I don't know if this is like something like universally that people are struggling with. Maybe there's like a lot of other stresses or stressors and like things are just, relationships are getting tossed aside or something. I don't know, but I feel like although you guys really do probably very much love and care for each other, I feel like the romance part is being like pushed aside. And for whatever reason, that is causing like a wall to go up, or maybe this wall's always been up and then the romance has never developed as a result of that. I'm not sure what order, but it just feels like there's this piece this deeper connection that's missing. And really when I say romance, that's what I mean. It doesn't have to just mean like physical. It's just this deeper piece that like you wouldn't, you know, experience or go there with like a friend or like your mailman. Like it's something just more. So the 2 of Cups implies that this is there's a care and there's a love, but I just want to see a little bit more of like that romantic part. Temperance, I think you guys do have a nice balance. I think you guys kind of even each other out. I think you feel each other. I think you get each other's quirks. Like I think you guys are in sync in a lot of ways, which is awesome. And 7 of Swords, I actually think you guys have fun together. I think there's like you get each other's sense of humor, whether you guys both have like kind of a dark humor or whether you're both sarcastic, or I just feel like you guys are quite similar. Just in how you communicate and how you function, and I don't know, just kind of like your ideals. And to that point, maybe also your person is pretty blocked off as well. And so maybe it's like if you opened up, they would open up more, and there would just be this great like trickle down effect. Because I do feel like you guys are similar and you're both kind of blocked off in a way. And I feel like so much could open up to you guys if you just tried this experiment of like, I don't know, starting to talk about this, or letting go of fear around this topic, or exploring this option, or whatever. Like, I just feel like there's something that it's almost like on you to kind of break down these walls a little bit. But if you did it and you went with it, it could be a lot of fun. And I think you guys would get somewhere, because you seem like you're really, like, you guys click. You're in sync. There's just this sense of like, you guys get each other. And when I say you feel each other, I mean, I feel like that could be applied to so many things. Like, that has become a very broad thing that I say. But in this context, I feel like you guys, you kind of know what each other's thinking. You know where each other's at. You know if they're angry, if they're sad. Like, you might even be here knowing that your partner would also love this from you, and then they'd love to do it in return. Like, I just think you know what they're going through, but for some reason it's like the onus is on you to kind of get the ball rolling, or to like push this and start it. And I don't know, maybe your partner opened up to you at one point and you kind of rebuffed it, and now they're like never doing it again, and it's just like on you. It's kind of that feeling. But I absolutely think it would be well received. And I just think that they would just get why you're doing this, and just roll with it. Like, it would be a really, really good thing. Okay, I want to see, I just want to ask in 3 cards as well, what do they want from you? Like, what do they want to see more of from you? And this should be fun. Okay, so we have the World, 9 of Swords. Yeah. Okay, so to me, this is, it's so on point and it's so on topic, like in a way that I find exciting, because I asked, what do they want to see from you? What do they want from you? And so to me, this is all about you sharing these 3 topics. They want to know your hopes, your dreams, the world. Where do you want to be? How do they, like, what's your next chapter look like? How do they fit in? Do you even want them in your, like, in this dreamscape that you've created? Are you happy with the relationship? Like, where do you see yourself in 1 year, 1 month, 5 years, next year? Like, they really, really want to know this. They want these conversations with you. 9 of Swords, to me, they also want to know your fears, your anxiety, what keeps you up at night. What are you worried about? It doesn't even have to be about them, just like, what's going on? If you, almost like they can tell you're not sharing these things with them, or you're holding back, or they ask you what's wrong and you say nothing. Like, it just has that feeling to it. Like, it's very, just cut and dry. I just feel like they need more from you. And again, 7 of Cups, this is kind of that, like, that dreamscape. Like, what they want you to share with them, like, yeah, your hopes, your dreams, your fears. Where do you want to be? What's working? What isn't working? Like, all of it. Like, I honestly don't think there's any topic you could bring up regarding what you're feeling, what your gut is telling you, what you want, that they wouldn't receive well and honestly, like, jump right in with. They feel like a slightly softer version of you. Like, they feel like you're the one that's a little bit tougher, or a little more pulled back, or a little more, like, introverted. Like, I really think they would roll with this, and it would probably just take that one kind of hard to broach topic, or just you throwing it out there once, like, totally randomly, like, where do you see us in 1 year? Or here's where I'd like to see us in 1 year, or something like that. That's just kind of fun. I guess it's fun. And, see where they go with it. But I really do think this is them saying, this is spirit telling me to tell you that this is what they want from you. And this is everything. This is almost like they're putting their heart on their sleeve, like almost begging you for this information. And it tracks with everything but solitude. So solitude, this is your pile. If any of this clicks, it's absolutely your pile, but it's, you are protecting yourself. And for whatever reason, why, it's you're doing it for a reason, and but maybe you're overdoing it. Maybe you don't need to be this protective anymore, or maybe you don't need to defend to the end to quite this, like, extreme anymore. And again, this just goes back to, like, that gut check. Like, if you've been feeling like you want to open up, or if they've dropped subtle hints, like, God, I love that vulnerability on that, or like, if just subtle hints implying that they're getting turned on or excited about the idea of someone who opens up, or who, cries when they're supposed to, or when, like, any other person would cry, like that kind of thing, then this is your message, your not so gentle message from spirit, to let them see a more vulnerable, softer, more sensitive, more affected, less apathetic. I'm not saying you are apathetic, but less apathetic, if you do tend towards apathy, which is so many of us, and that's fine. Maybe more empathetic to that point. Although even you might be very empathetic. Like, that is actually kind of a separate realm in a lot of ways. I'm not saying you aren't empathetic, or maybe you aren't. That's fine too. But if this tracks, this is what they want from you. And I'm going to turn over. This pile it's fun. It's kind of like childish, but it does have some fun things in here. And I'm going to turn over, I think, 2 cards. These are going to be like gifts from spirit of things you can do that might help create this space where you're like, okay, I can do this. And I mean, these are so random, but honestly, I feel like it could help. So let's turn one over. Nourish your temple. Okay, we'll get there, I guess. Burning bowl ritual. Okay, not what I expected, but still very fun. And they are gifts from spirit all the same. So to help you with this, like, opening up process, this ritual in a way that you're going to do. I don't know, this very much a message of taking care of yourself, giving back to yourself, loving yourself. I honestly think you do all of these things. I think you really do take care of yourself. I think you're like a pretty polished, very well put together, like intentional person, that you might need therapy, but I don't think you need a whole lot of like self-love. Like, I think you really love and care for yourself and you protect yourself. But this could be like, I don't know, there could just be, maybe get a massage, maybe treat yourself to something that's like kind of extra nourishing and like will release this kind of like endorphin in a way, like that makes you feel like loosey-goosey and really good. Maybe that's it. Maybe just treat yourself to something that's kind of like a special experience that takes care of you a little bit. I don't know, maybe it's even like a bottle of champagne, but or like a salt float or something. Like, there's just something you can do that's going to help you feel just loose and relaxed, and then you can just dive into some heavy topic when you get home. Burning bowl ritual, this, you know, you literally can burn things in a bowl, or you can set some things free. And if you do have like that protection piece that you're holding on to, or that fear that if you bring up this topic, just try releasing that. Like, go back to, this is your dear friend. This person is a true friend, and there's really nothing you can say that's going to be wrong or scare them, or that they're not going to want to hear. Like, you literally can't go wrong. There's such a message here about how whenever you bring up anything about yourself, this person's going to dive in. They're going to like devour it. They're going to want so much more of it, and then they're going to do it. And then honestly, this could so totally ignite passion if that's something that you're like seeking. I feel like this could be such a just like freaking full-on floodgates of passion unlocked, and this relationship could look like a whole different dynamic in a really exciting, fun, romantic way. If any of this is something you want. If not, then don't open up to them and just end the relationship. But yeah, if you want this to work, this is my advice. It's Spirit's advice. So I hope you liked this reading. I hope it tracked. I hope you do it if it's what you want and it feels good. But thank you very much for watching and listening. Like, subscribe, comment, please. I would love it. Okay, thanks so much. Goodbye. Hello, Pile 2. Thank you so much for being here and letting me read for you. This is Light and Bone Tarot, and we are doing a relationship reading entitled Let Them See This Side of You. This is about showing them something, and it's, yeah, we'll see what that is that you need to show them or bring out or kind of like develop, just something that they're like craving from you. And yeah, the last pile was really good, so let's see what this one is. You picked Illumination. Excuse me. I don't know if this card's going to speak to what you need to bring out or not. We'll find out, but definitely it's your pile, so that is the most important thing. We have 4 oracle cards here that I picked for this, and it's going to help me just get a story of what they want from you, what your person is just literally like dying to see from you, what's going to help bring you guys together, what's going to help grow, just keep you guys stronger. To the moon and back. Love that. Movement. Catching. And Pandora's gift. Let me think about this, because this is something I need to think about. Okay, let me give this a thought 1 second. And I really did have to think about it, because the last pile, it was like the whole message was vulnerability, and they wanted you to open up more. And it would be so easy to turn every one of these readings into that. But although I think there is an element, obviously, of vulnerability behind each of these, kind of like what they need, because it implies something that you've been holding back. So you need to be more confident. You need to give something of yourself. But I was really trying to think like, what is this message here? And when I see to the moon and back, and I see movement, oh my gosh. And movement, to me, it's green. It's very much heart chakra. It's very much like, I feel like the heart working, pumping. There is this sense of like, there's a message here about like love, like giving more love, giving more of yourself, almost like trusting that this is someone you can really, really love. I feel like you feel very strongly for this person, but you're still kind of almost like hiding your feelings. And I get this with the Pandora's gift card. It's like almost you're afraid that if you started saying I love you, or if you started whatever it is that you're not doing, that's like not showing your partner exactly how strongly you feel for them, you feel like it would be opening Pandora's box. And then it would be this like, oh my God, where do we go and what now and to what end? Like this, like you're almost compartmentalizing your relationship, so it doesn't get too big, too out of hand, it just doesn't grow too quickly. It does kind of feel like that, like you're just keeping this person in this one little space. I think this person feels very strongly for you. I think they let you know they feel strongly for you. I think they're fine, like highlighting their feelings for you, and you really are. It's like you have this fear of it. I don't know, not just of like people seeing you, because I don't know if that's really the fear, but like of just all of a sudden you guys are on display. You're this couple, you're this, whatever it is, it's like you're trying to almost hide in a way. I really think you love this person. I really do. I think you feel something tremendous for them. Or you absolutely could, like there's potential here for you to feel or have something very, very strong and deep and real with this person, but it does feel like you're really holding back. And although there's a vulnerability piece to this feels more like you just, not so much that you aren't saying the things to them, but either you aren't conveying it with like genuine interest or care, or you just aren't, you're just not saying the things they want to hear. Like you're changing the subject, or you'll talk about it, but you'll say flat out like, I'm sorry, I'm just not there, or I can't say that back right now, or I really I'm not ready for this conversation. And you might not be, but I just think your person needs this. Like this is what they want from you. They want that next step, that next level. And I mean, it's really sweet and it's really touching that they want this from you, but it seems like they really kind of need this from you. And it's hard. And there's this sadness piece here, and I don't know why, but there's this little bit of sadness because I feel like you really want to give them this or show them this, and you haven't. And why you haven't, or the fact that you haven't, or the fact that you're almost going to lose them over this is like, it's sad because you could almost convince them that you really don't like them after some point if you just continue to not open up and not say the things they want to hear. And I think that would, kind of cost you a relationship. Like there would get to a point where it would just be too much for them, and they wouldn't get what they need from you. So yeah, I want to see you guys right now in 3 cards, and I think it's probably going to be like really soft and sweet and loving. I feel like there's a gentleness and a sweetness with you guys, but you, for whatever reason, have this fear. And I think your partner that's what's so hard. They know you care for them. They really do. They might start to second guess it, or maybe they've second guessed it a little, but they know you really care for them. So they can't understand why you can't open up, why you can't say it, why you can't express yourself on this next level, which in all fairness, they're going to need from you. Cause I think this could definitely start to jeopardize trust. This could start to erode other parts of your guys' dynamic and relationship. And it probably won't really be pretty once that happens. But honestly, at that point, I think you would just cut out anyway and be like, bye, and kind of never look back, which is probably what you've done quite a bit before in the past. And I just don't think you really want to do that right now. But yeah, you do seem like someone who, I hate to say ghosting because that's like a very immature thing to do, but I'm sure you've done it and you're capable of it. And I just think it's hard for you when things get very real and very serious. So I'm going to take these 2 cards that fell out because I was going to do your guys' dynamic in 3 cards. So we've got Strength, we've got 2 of Pentacles, and 9 of Swords. I said it was going to be really sweet. It's not necessarily overly sweet, but it's definitely not bad. Absolutely Strength. I think to me, this strength is like, there is a partnership. There is kind of you guys enduring each other, helping each other, working together. I do think your person kind of pushes you and challenges you in a way that you really like. Like I do think and it might feel sometimes like they're poking the bear a little bit, like you being the bear, but they really are just trying so hard to develop this piece in you and bring out this emotion in you that I just don't think maybe they've glimpsed it once or twice. Maybe you were drunk. Maybe you just had a moment where you were feeling it, but in general, they really, this is something you keep from them. So, okay, Strength, 2 of Pentacles, a little bit of a dance, a little bit of a juggling act. Yeah, I think you're probably you probably feel hot and cold. You probably feel like sometimes you're a lot of fun and it's easy and everything's going great. And then they probably think they're going to hear you like, I don't know, hug them and say, I love you. And then you like do a complete 180 and you're like iced over. I just feel like there's this, where are you going? What are you feeling? Where do you want to be? Like there's just a lot of questions. And I do feel like you kind of walk this or tread this line of like, you're in it, you're not in it. Like I want to be here, I don't want to be here. I think it's actually quite confusing to them. And Nine of Swords, there is anxiety here, there's stress. And I think this is really, it's probably both of you, because I don't think it feels good for you knowing that you have so much you could say to this person and so much that you actually probably do feel. But I also think your person is stressed out and anxious about this. And this could be a wake-up call of two things. It could be a wake-up call that maybe you really aren't that into this person and genuinely at your core, you don't have these feelings. So this could be that message. And if that's the message, you're here for a reason. Maybe you really needed to realize that. Maybe you really don't have this in you for this person. Fine. Well, not fine, but then you obviously need to let them know. And this would be like that kind of wake-up call. But if it's the other side, which is like, your relationship will be so much better. You'll be so much happier. Your person, there won't be this stress, this anxiety. You'll feel like you've just been like just washed over with this beautiful wave of love and happiness. All you have to do is just start letting them know how you feel. And honestly, you don't have to like come out just super strong or like in full force and tell them like, whatever, something extreme that they've never even come close to saying with you. But like, you just have to say something. There's just this bit of opening up. I don't know where you guys are at, but you know what you would say to them that would make them very happy. And if you feel it, then yes, you should say it. And it would be illuminating. It would feel like so, I don't know, just like kind of the colors and like the swirls of color. It just feels like it would be so beautiful once this happens. Like there would be just this really incredible moment where you're like, I don't know, like something would wash over you guys. Like you'd be like, oh, I can't believe it took me so long to say that. Or like, I can't believe I've just been so stubborn, or I've just been holding that in. Like it just feels like you sharing your thoughts and feelings would be really, really, really exceptional. And I mean, to the moon and back, I do think your person loves you to the moon and back. I think they have a tremendous amount of love and care for you. I think they feel this with all their heart. And I really think for you, it's there too. It's just, you're afraid to leave this comfort of this one zone, because this zone is easy and manageable, and you just aren't sure what, if you cross into it, it's like the Pandora's box thing. Like what are you opening up? What does your dynamic look like? What kind of things then new problems do you have to address, or new issues, like if all of a sudden you say, I love you, and we're in a committed relationship, like that's a lot more, there's a lot more rules, there's a lot more conversations, there's a lot more of everything. And maybe it's just so easy to be in this like gray area right now, but I think it's hard on your person, and I think it's actually hard on you too. So yeah, and again, your person, it seems like they really do love you. So if you aren't feeling like there's someone you could, wholeheartedly love in return, then maybe that's a conversation. And maybe, again, that's why you're here. But okay, I want to see, I'm going to move these up. I just want to see in 3 cards, what side, like what do they want to see from you? We kind of just answered this question, but I'm just going to ask, what do they want to see from you? What do we have here? What can you show them that they want? So 2 of Wands, 3 of Swords, King of Wands. Okay. Definitely there is this passion and this vulnerability piece. 2 of Wands, I think they want you to share with them where you see this relationship going. To me, the 2 of Wands is like, what's happening? Where are we going? What's this all about? Like, let's start planning. Let's see it's like looking out over a landscape. It's like surveying the territory, starting to map your course. Like, I really do think your person has so many question marks about like, where could this be going? What's our journey? What do you want from us? And that's big, but I think they're ready for it. They really want to know where you see this going, and just, yeah. And 3 of Swords, this is the heartbreak card, but from you, I think they They want that part of that vulnerability, that part of your heart where like you can open up. You can say, I'm scared of this. This is terrifying to me right now. I'm actually terrified. I'm scared of being hurt. I'm scared of just the things that you were scared of that like would kind of relate to your heart, like the things that would hurt you, or I don't know, just anything that you can think of in a relationship that might terrify you. I think this is something they obviously would want from you, but at least the conversation, like to start talking about it, to start opening that Pandora's box of like, yes, I know it's scary, but I just get that with the Three of Swords card. And I don't know, maybe you've had heartbreak or trauma or something that like you haven't talked to them about and they want to hear that. So maybe you're afraid to do this because of a previous relationship that didn't go well, and they know you had a bad relationship, but they don't know the details, and you've kind of like hid those details. Then it would be like a direct message to open up about that. Like they really just want to know. They need some information, like what's going on in your heart, because their heart, I feel like, is kind of on the table. They're open, they're healthy. They're like, here's my heart. It's here. And they really need to know where you're at. King of Wands it's that emotion. I mean, this is probably the epitome of like knowing your emotions. Well, actually this is like an action, a passion. There's a lot more than just emotion here. It's that like, I'm trying to think, I just think they want you to step into your own. They want you to own it. They really want you to start owning like everything from like, what do you want? Like they can't be the driver of everything. You have to start, you're a part of this relationship. Like it can't just be them. So I do think this is like you starting to also contribute and take charge and let them, like you have to ask questions. You have to say what you want as well. You have to, because I just feel like you've been kind of sitting back and letting them like drive or take control, and maybe they've been the gas and you've been the brakes, and it's just, I think it's getting in some ways old for this person as well, but not old as in like they're gonna, leave you next week if you don't open up. But I do think it will get tiring, it will get exhausting, and I think at some point they're gonna have to protect themselves. So yeah, they just want you to start kind of driving your own ship and really showing that you're like an active party in this relationship. And I feel like I went from like something very soft about how this person loves you and, to the moon and back. And now I'm like, oh, they just need you to start contributing. Like it sounds harsh, but I really just think they want this from you so bad. And they want to see what it would be like if you did step up a little bit. Like, and I don't know, I feel like you guys would have a lot of fun together. It seems like you guys have something really kind of fun and exciting. I think there's passion there. I think things are very good, but you know that you've reached a point where like it's got to be not all or nothing, but you can't go on in this gray area. Like you're too advanced for that. You guys have been through too much. There's too much everything there. There's too much of everything, and including too many emotions, too many feelings. Like you're gonna have to step it up and allow for that, or you're gonna have to walk away. So yeah, if you're not feeling this person, then you don't need to allow for that, and you absolutely can walk away because you're not feeling it, and then you'd be doing them a favor because they're crazy about you. Or you need to just like step it up and lean into it and let it happen, but also being in control as well. Like, not just asking them what do you want, but telling them what you want, and just where you see you guys going and what's happening and what's the future look like, and like just those weird conversations. Okay, but fun ones, I guess. These are cards. This is going to be a gift from Spirit. Like, if you haven't done this yet, and if you are afraid of opening that whole Pandora's box thing, and like you want to keep your relationship in this neat little box that it's in, then this is going to be a gift as to like, I don't know, 2 things you can do, or 2 kind of like energies or activities that just might help you get to this headspace. Because for me, this would be like, if this was me and I get this vibe that you're in, I get this space, this would be like, okay, I just need a bottle of wine one night and I'll just throw it out there, and it like spaghetti on a wall. If it sticks, great. We can talk all night about how much we like each other. If not, then I'll just like pack my things and go in the morning. Like, I feel like you just need like a little clue as to like, okay, do this and you can like finally break the ice with this. So, okay, let's see what we have. We have dream journal. Okay, I mean, maybe you've had a dream. Maybe it helps you. Maybe the dream is like super abstract, or maybe it's pretty like on point to something, but like, I don't know. try to remember your dreams. I don't know, something to do with the dream. Maybe a friend told you about a dream, but to me, this is just, there's something about a dream here. And maybe try writing your dreams down for like a couple days, or if you have a dream, write it down spend 3 minutes in the morning writing it down and bringing up some of the points. And who knows, maybe one of those things will help you. Maybe you're like at some random ass picnic in your dream, and you know what, then tell your dude all this over a picnic. Like, I'm just saying, that's an example. And then we have sex, and this is pretty straightforward. I don't even know what to say about this, except maybe have sex, have more sex, maybe have sex and then talk about it. Maybe talk about it and then have sex. Maybe say, I mean, there's so many options here, and I don't even need to go through all the possibilities. But we asked Spirit for a gift and it would be how it could help you lean into this space. And we got Dream Journal, which is, you know, whatever, but also helpful, also your message. And then we got sex. So this to me feels pretty powerful. There's probably something here. If this is someone you don't want to have sex with, then we've already made it clear you probably don't have these feelings, and you are at this reading to actually like spur you to break up with this person, which is sad, and I feel bad for your person, but like this is totally a message to do that. But if the thought of having sex with them is nice and exciting and you like them enough for this, then 100% there's something here about that too. So I'm going to cut it off here because I like everything about this reading. I like how much you're loved and cared for by this person, and I like how much they just want this from you in return, and they want to get out of the gray area. They want clarity, they want growth, they want progress with you. They just want more of you, like mentally, probably physically, but like definitely mentally. They just want that next level of connection and trust and intimacy and all that. So yeah, if this speaks to you, then this is your pile, and this is what they want from you. So please like, subscribe, comment if you haven't already, and I would really appreciate it. So I hope to read for you again. Thank you so much. Goodbye. Hello, pile 3. This is Light and Bone Tarot. Thank you so much for being here and letting me read for you. This is a relationship reading, and the title is Let Them See This Side of You, Show Them This Side of Yourself. It's something that your partner or your person or whoever you're with romantically, this is what they want from you. This will help grow your dynamic, your relationship. This is what they need from you. So yeah, the last 2 readings were really good, and this is blessings. And I really don't think this card has a secret meaning. I think it's just your pile. I think you're here for a reason. Sometimes I feel like I can get a strong message off of this card, and I just can't necessarily right now, but it's so totally your pile that yeah, we're here for it. So I've got 3 oracle cards here that are, it's going to help me see your dynamic in, holy smokes, where's my other card? Here we go. In a few cards. So let me see where you're at and how I can gauge kind of like where you need to go. Okay, day and night. Energy. Power of attraction. And freedom. Okay. You know, couldn't say why. I'm just going to start free flowing here. Couldn't say why. Definitely something, I don't know, there's like and I just feel weird saying it because there's like a sexual something. There's a sexual energy. There's a sexual like prowess. There's something to do physically that is coming off this pile. So I'm going to lean into that for a minute. If it doesn't speak to you and it's totally like not your pile, then there's another pile for you, because this message is going to feel pretty like specific. I feel like God. Okay. So I don't know why I feel this way, but it's the first message I got, and I'm going to go with it. For some reason, I feel like your person needs a kind of consistency with you. And initially, and I'm getting like more on that, but like I did get this sense of like either you guys, or it's possible that you two are like exploring aspects of your sexuality or how you guys like communicate sexually to an extreme that isn't quite like working for you, and maybe you need to speak up about it, or maybe you are not being like true to yourself and how you're going about this dynamic physically, like maybe you opened up too quickly and too soon physically and it didn't set right and now you kind of wish you hadn't, or maybe you did something you thought that they were into, and in other words, I almost feel like the side of you they need to see is like, I don't know, it's like more honesty, more openness, more, not openness, like, because I feel like there's something to do here with the sexual energy. And I guess it could go either way. So I'm not really sure which way to take it. But either you have, I don't want to say given too much of yourself, because I definitely don't want you to think that you have done that. But if you feel like you've given too much of yourself and it's stressing you out, and now you feel like, that's what I get with this day and night thing. Like you show one side of yourself, but it's not actually authentic. Like you do it because you think you should, or because you think it's what someone else wants, but it really doesn't set well with you. There's kind of that piece here. Like there's something I can't put, and the thing is, it doesn't feel bad. It feels like maybe you're in a slightly off headspace about it, but I can't like see your partner or feel them. But there is something here about how like, I want you to, I don't know, there's like there's something about relaxing around a sexual energy. And I don't know. Sorry, this is so bizarre. I'm taking a minute here. I'm just taking a beat to think on it because I don't want to say too much. Look, I don't know if, I'm going to throw out some other dynamics and then I'm just going to speak broadly, but like, maybe this person opened up to you that, I'm trying to think, I don't know, that maybe they were like really promiscuous, or maybe you were really promiscuous. And if there's just something here that you need to move past. And I think the side they need to see of you is the side that you aren't showing. So if you are showing this like very like sexually open or fluid or like experimental side of you, I think they want to see a little less of that. And that sounds so harsh because it's your place to do whatever you want. So I don't want to make this seem like you, I don't know, I guess I definitely don't want to like shame in any way or make it seem like you've done the wrong thing. That's not it. But I feel like if you did what I just said, then this person wants just to see a more relaxed side of you, like almost like maybe you're putting on a show or you're performing in a way that isn't authentic. I kind of feel like that's it. Something you're doing isn't authentic. And then maybe if you're holding back physically, maybe they can feel that you don't want to, but maybe you're doing it for reasons like, I don't know, religion, family, guilt, shame, whatever. And that also doesn't feel authentic to you either. Like maybe it's time for you to give this person a little bit more of yourself, and for your own personal growth and freedom and exploration and pleasure and all that. Like, so there's two very opposite sides here, but for whatever reason, I am getting a pretty distinct message on the physical. And I'm trying to think how I'm going to move forward without like going in, like telling a story too much on one side or the other, because I feel like you could fall in either one of these categories. And yeah, and the truth is, in some way, I feel like every relationship, just to take like this blame off or pressure, falls into this. I feel like almost everyone feels like they either slept with someone too soon or waited too long, or didn't wait long enough. Or then if they did sleep with someone, maybe they were a little too drunk and they were a little too like extreme, or maybe they, like, I just feel like almost everyone looks back and then maybe that one event you kept playing it out, whatever that was, and it could be an extreme of one or the other. And I just feel like for whatever reason, where you are in this dynamic, like you almost need to just press reset on the physicality, like just reset it so you can come in and authentically be who you want to be in this way. And I just feel like this person I just feel like for whatever reason, when you guys do come together physically, it feels like a show, like I don't know, like it's just not you. It's not authentically you. It's like your head might be somewhere else. You might be thinking if you're doing things right, if you're maybe, I don't know, there's some element of like when you're with this person physically, you're not in your head and you're not genuinely connecting. You're going through like a role play. You're going through what you think someone would do in a certain situation, or maybe what you think this person wants. And this could have something to do with like porn or something like that. And maybe this person honestly doesn't want anything like that. And I just feel like I could go down a big rabbit hole giving scenarios, and it's not necessary, and I'm not going to do that. But like, if any of that tracked, then I do think this is your reading. And whether I hit the nail on the head with this tarot isn't really the point. It's just like, okay, just know that that's very, very normal. And your person wants a genuine, authentic, softer, I want to say softer and sweeter, but they just want you. They do whatever, if you have been putting on a show or if you have been holding back, they just want the real you. So that is the very bizarre. I've never had a message like this. Which is funny because seriously, when I do my readings, I can mention sex or talk about it, but it doesn't really ever come up. It came up in the last reading in a card. But in general, it's like, I say romance and I mean like, oh, your person that you care about, a romantic connection, just connecting, whatever that means. It can be talking over a glass of wine. Like that can be someone's definition of romance, and that's fine. But there is, to me here, a very like actual, like physical, sexual piece. Okay, let's put that aside and let's like try to get into some tarot to see how maybe we can, address this. So I want to see you guys in 3 cards, and then I'm just going to ask, what do they want from you? Like, what really do they want from you? And yeah, and it's not, okay. Let's see you guys in 3 cards, okay? The Fool, 8 of Swords, and Wheel of Fortune. Okay, and again, this reading might not be for everyone. It doesn't mean every pile is like, there's 4 piles. You can watch all 4 readings and get something out of them. But I do like to think generally you land on the pile that's meant for you, but can't happen every single time, right? So your guys' dynamic right now, it does feel like there's something. I don't know if you guys are younger and you came together, like this is one of your first, like one of you or both of you is in your first serious relationship. I don't know if one of you is dating for the first time after being in like a long-term committed relationship. It just feels like there's a first here. Like there's this, one of you or both of you is experiencing something for the first time. And it honestly could be having sex for the first time or whatever. I don't know. It just feels like there's a first here. And it feels not treacherous, but like the navigation is a little iffy. Like you're almost handling this relationship like from a playbook. Like this is what you should do, and this is what the YouTube video said to do. It just feels very first time or very new, and that's not bad. There's something actually very sweet about this, because I think there's a genuine intent from both of you to like get it right, but almost like you lost yourself so much in trying to get it right. Like you weren't true to yourself. You know what I mean? Like you lost that truth to yourself. 8 of Swords, there is a little bit feeling of being trapped. Like maybe like you're trying so hard to have it look or function a certain way, or to have you guys behave a certain way, that it's just like now you're like, you guys like really need to start over. I do feel like there's this like reset button that needs to be hit, so you can just be like, okay, look, I know we've been acting this way or doing it this way for however long, but like it's not me. And I honestly think your person wants this. I just feel like somehow if there could be this like, can we just please start over, like they would feel a wash of relief over this too. And this is the Wheel of Fortune, kind of like, it's almost this like spin the wheel, let's start here, let's go back to this, it's like there's a kind of like almost a do-over, like a freebie. Like you guys are getting this kind of like this freebie, and I'm going to say the word do-over again. It kind of feels like that because for whatever reason you guys have been operating in a like somewhat inauthentic way. Like you haven't been completely honest with yourselves, or not with each other, like you're telling lies, but you're operating in a way that it's like it was advice that was given. It was something that you thought should look or feel or play out a certain way, and it hasn't. So just go back and do it your own way. And I don't know, this could be an influence again of like religion, of family, of friends, of social media, of porn, like whatever it is. There's just, and that spans like all sorts of things. Like there are so many different buckets that those things can that can fill up. I don't know. Okay, so I want to know now, let them see this side of you. So what do you need to show them? What do they need from you? And also, I feel like your person also feeds into this. Like they also need to acknowledge their part in this, but I think they gladly would. And I hate that it's on you to kind of bring up this, like, let's just reset this. Let's start fresh. You really haven't been getting the real me. I haven't been honest with you. This isn't really what I like. Like, I'm just not into this. Like, whatever it is, I just feel like the more honest you are, they would eat it up and they'd be like, oh my God, like, thank goodness, me too. I'm so sorry. I should have said something. Like, whatever. I just feel like it could be really, really sweet. I just feel like there's this sweetness, this like kind of like what you see and feel in this card. Like this is waiting for you if you can just be like, just have that weird, awkward, strange conversation. Okay, so let them see this, show them this. We've got Knight of Pentacles, Queen of Cups, and Four of Cups. Okay, so, and I mean, I say somewhat extreme things, so obviously you don't have to stay with this person forever, but what I'm getting out of show them this is, for me, the Knight of Pentacles is like, you're not going anywhere. You're not running. You're not afraid. You're not on to the next thing. Like you genuinely, you're here. You're sticking it out. Like it's just that yeah, show them that you're not going anywhere. Okay. Only if you really don't want to go anywhere. If you want to cut out of this relationship and that feels best, that's fine too. But there's a sweetness and there's a love between you guys. There's something very, very kind here. And you guys have just, for whatever reason, endured something that feels off brand for you. Really, if that's really what it is. And I always want to give examples, but I feel like they're so extreme and sometimes like frightening if it's totally not where you're at. But like, I don't know. Okay, so Queen of Cups to me, yes, they want this like this just emotional outcry from you. They want to know what's in your mind. They want to know what you're feeling. They want to know what makes you happy. They just want to know the real you. There's this sincere, honest, truthful, vulnerable, real you piece, and I just feel like this is what they want. They want that Queen of Cups. I feel like the Queen of Cups is emotional, but she knows her emotions so well. They're in check, but she could also cry at the right time. She's not going to hold back tears. You know what I mean? Like she feels things. She expresses things. She's open. She's fluid. She's very just easy and would like keep the conversation rolling and would not steer it away from an emotional topic. Like, so they want this from you and they want to know that you're not going anywhere. And the Four of Cups to me is generally a card of like apathy. It's tied to emotions and it is watery, but to me, this is almost like that conversation where you're like, I'm not feeling it the way we're doing it. And I'm not just talking about sex. It's like, I'm not feeling this relationship because it started off in a way, or we set a precedent, or we set a standard, or we've been operating under this like same mindset or whatever. And I'm not feeling it. And I think this honesty, this would be so enlightening because I just think that your person feels the way you feel. And you know, this is where like, if this is your first reading from me and you're like, this was so totally not my pile, maybe it's not. Maybe there's something in here that actually does speak to you, and it could be so much less extreme than anything I've brought up, but it still could be there in one capacity or another. Like we've all, I don't know, moved too quickly or moved too slowly and then tried to overcompensate or undercompensate or like try to justify what we did in a way that was like so over the top. And it can become a rabbit hole where now you're like, oh my God, I'm so deep in this like course correcting that like I don't even know freaking where I'm headed or what course I'm on or what the right move. Like I just kind of feel like that's where you are. So obviously you need to course correct. Obviously you guys need to talk. You need to just get back to basics, start things over, start fresh, have the conversation, and just let them know, like, it's something about letting them know, like, I really want to be in this with you. I just kind of want to start from fresh. Love that. Love the Wheel of Fortune energy there. And the energy is, there is passion between you guys. That's the truth of it. There's a lot of passion. I think you guys have something very, very special. I think even overcoming this little hurdle could be huge for you guys. Like I see a pretty decent future for you guys. but I think it would just turn into like a big weird void of nothingness if you didn't address this. But yeah, I see a lot here, and there's just this like kind of like synergy, there's this energy, and there's this like, you guys could have such amazing conversation and connection and like romance. There's a lot of depth here for you guys. And in a lot of ways you guys are similar, in a lot of ways you guys are very different, but you come together in a really beautiful way. And yeah, I think you guys, you're feeling each other. Things are good. And I hope this helps. Okay, last two cards. I'm just calling these gift from spirit. They're like, what can help you start this conversation? What can help you with this whole pace that you've been on, and like slowing down and redoing and all that? So these are two gifts from spirit. So let's see what we have here. We have aromatherapy. These cards are funny because, you know, aromatherapy and music. Well, let's see here. These are two cards that are like, I could make a joke like, oh, aromatherapy and music. But I guess the message here is like, there is this kind of like earthy, soulful kind of like, I like the movement. I like the music piece. I don't know, this could just be like, there's something very flowy and easy and fun and vibey about this. And the aromatherapy is kind of like you just like tapping in and being like, yes, I've got this. I feel good. I feel strong. My house is clean. You know, my hair is clean. I like my outfit. Everything smells good. Everything's perfect. Like I'm in the right headspace to just do this. Like, I don't know. There's kind of just this like setting the stage feeling of like, I've got this, because it does feel like you do have to bring this up somehow. So yeah, something about just feeling totally on point and just jumping into it. And the music, I don't know, maybe play the perfect music while you're doing this. Maybe there is some music or song or whatever that you know that like your person just always chills them out. Maybe there's like a concert or something that like, I don't know, that's kind of extreme, but like something about music, something about aromatherapy, or nothing about these two things, because there's a lot of weight in this pile. So I don't want to like end on a super lighthearted note, although in some ways I do want to end on a lighthearted note. But I do think there's a message here, and I can almost hardly remember all the stuff I said, but if it tracked, then it's your pile. And I think there's a topic to broach, and there's a way to do things moving forward that will feel so much easier and better for you and lighter and just more fun. And like, you guys are really going to go places if you can pull this off, which you can. Okay. Love this journey for you. Love where you're at. Actually, I like in some ways that you are going through this, because it's so much, and to actually conquer it will be huge. And you guys could like do anything after that. So, very cool. I'm excited for you guys. Okay. Thank you so much for being here. If you like, subscribe, comment, I would love it. Thank you. And I hope to read for you again. Goodbye. For being here and letting me read for you. This is Light and Bone Tarot, and this is a relationship reading. They've been kind of heavy. The title is Let Them See This Side of You. And this is something like, just show them this, open up about this. Yeah, the last pile was kind of heavy, and every pile's been quite different. So it's been interesting. Okay. So this is pile 4. This is your pile. This is embracing. Whether this picture or the word on here, I don't know what that has to do with anything just yet, but I did pick oracle cards, and then I'm going to get into some tarot. And this is, I'm going to see your guys's vibe and like really what they need from you, essentially. So let them see this. We've got the gardener, faith, interesting, shock of the new, and displacement. So there is something here to me, just in these cards, quick message, something about trust, something about trust, something about like leaning into something, embracing change, kind of like a going with the flow. And I really, really don't want this reading to turn into like something you're doing wrong and what you need to change. It's more of like, let them see this side of you. So I'm sorry if it feels like I'm saying what you're doing wrong, because I don't think you're doing anything wrong. I think quite possibly at some point in your in your dynamic with this person, or obviously with someone else, but quite possibly with this person, maybe there was something, maybe trust was abused, or it became an issue at some point. And yeah, maybe you found it hard to trust. Maybe that was a pretty like eye-opening, shocking ordeal. Maybe you questioned so many things as a result of that. And to me, the faith card, it's not just like your faith in the Lord. It could be your faith in just about anything, in love, in relationships, in people, in your religion, in whatever. Like, there's definitely a sense here of like something you were shook in a way. And I feel like the side they need to see in you is the side that trusts, the side that opens up, the side that lets go. I do actually think you have let go. I really do. I'm not saying, but there's something lingering. So, okay, let me, my dog is making so much noise. Okay, let me see if I can get an idea of where we're at, because and actually this does feel heavy and emotional, because I do know what it's like to have trust issues in a relationship, and it can be so consuming, but I feel like you're not in that place where it's actually consuming you anymore, but there is something lingering. And I do think you very much want to start fresh, and you want to plant fresh seeds, and you're kind of doing that, but there's a little bit. And I think this is about you almost setting something free. Like, they want to see you let something go completely. They want to see you, I don't know if it's like an anger or a resentment or like a phase, like just something to set free. I want to see your guys' dynamic in 3 cards. So we have Strength, we have Knight of Pentacles, and we have 2 of Swords. God, my animals make so much noise when I read. Okay, so Strength, to me, there's an element of enduring here. There's definitely love and care and like compassion, but there is this like, it's helping each other. It's somewhat holding each other back, but it's also helping each other. It's a little bit of both, but it is this kind of like endurance. Like, we're getting through this together. We couldn't do it without each other. And I like this card centered here, because it's very much like, it shows me that there's a strong bond between you guys, a strong bond. And there is actually trust there. There truly, truly is. It's there. I think you know it's there. I think you're ready to let it in, but it's been compromised somehow. And who knows, maybe you're the one that hurt the trust of someone else, and this is about them opening up to you. But I really feel like it's more the other way around. Knight of Pentacles, I think you guys are both sticking this out. I don't think you're running. I think you want to be in this. I think you want to get through this. But 2 of Swords also tells me there is this point where like something has to change. There's kind of this like, we've got to figure this out. We've got to get to the bottom of this, where it's almost like you're almost at your wit's end with this, as in like something's, I really think they need to see you let go of something. And again, this could be from a past relationship. It might not even have to do with them. It could be like almost like a PTSD thing, or it could be completely something to do with them. And maybe you guys have been together for a while and this is hard, but there's something that did kind of like eat away at you. It hurt you. It chipped away at you, and somehow at your relationship, at your dynamic, at your ability to trust. But I don't think you need that I don't think you need that level of guard up anymore, and they really need to see you drop this. They really need to see that you can trust them. That's what I'm getting. It's a very not fun, warm, fuzzy message, but it is sweet, because they want you to embrace them. They want you to embrace where the relationship's going. They need you to also have confidence. It's another piece of it. They need to see you invest and have confidence in this, like to really know wholeheartedly it's going somewhere, and that the potential is there to keep going. And I feel for you, because you've definitely been through something and it's been very hard, but I really think you can trust this person now. If you feel in your gut that you can't, then this is also a wake-up call. Like, okay, if that's truly where you're at with this, and actually not even your gut, of course, always listen to your gut, but this is more of like that higher kind of third eye energy. This is almost like tapping into that like third eye crown chakra, This is like, what are the, even going to your throat a little bit, but this is like, what do you want? What are the words you want to speak? What are the messages coming to you? What do you feel? What's coming to you in your dreams? What kind of like revelations are you getting? What do you see when you close your eyes? Like, this is like, there's very much this tapping in. And if you feel like, you can trust your person, they love you, they're in it, then yeah, it would definitely be that like hardcore message to like, let it go, move forward. They need to see this from you. They need to feel that you're like, you're on board and you're trusting and you're there and you guys are doing this together. Yeah, and that you're moving forward. And then of course, if you really feel like you can't trust them, then that's a whole different thing. And I would say embrace that equally and let them see the side of you that's like, nope, sorry, we're not doing this. I'm done. And then that would be also like a very clear side of you that they would see. But I really feel like this, whatever it is, you were displaced for a minute. You weren't yourself. You were in shock. You were scared. You were all these things. But I just don't think you need to, your guard doesn't have to be up like that anymore. Like I really feel like you're in a safe place. But it's taken you a minute to get there. Okay, I'm going to ask in 3 cards, just what do they want to see from you? How can you do this? Like, what could this look like if you gave them this trust, essentially? The Emperor. Okay. 7 of Swords and Knight of Wands. So I think, the Emperor to me is like, you would be in control. You would feel amazing. You would feel like the man. Like, you would be so you would embody yourself again. You would be everything you're supposed to be. You would rise to the challenge. Like, you would, just this strength and this power and this kind of like authority would come over you. You would get your vibe, your groove back. There's a lot of power in here. And I see this under strength, and it's like, you'd have your voice back. Because right now there's like, maybe you're scared or you don't know, or you're a little timid, or you're like questioning, and you wouldn't be questioning. You'd be the one with the authority, in a good way. There'd still be balance in your relationship, would be great. But it like all this weird ick and questioning, it would dissolve. There'd be, you guys would have your roles back, and I feel like you are kind of like a bad bitch, and I feel like you are quite strong, and I think your person really loves and respects this about you, but you haven't really been that way, and the Emperor tells me you would just get that vibe back. Also, Knight of Wands, I think pretty quickly you guys would fall into this like hot and heavy kind of romantic existence. I think you guys would very quickly see this spark kind of reignited. I think there would be a lot there that would be very exciting, very romantic, very passionate. Like, there's a lot there. And I really, really like this because it's exciting. And it would be this kind of coming in hot feeling. And again, this would happen with you trusting, deciding to trust, letting your person know that you're trusting and that you're putting the past behind and you're moving forward, and you're feeling good. Like, you're feeling like, yes, I can do this. Like, this is new beginnings, new growth, new directions, new everything, like planting seeds, watching them grow, starting fresh. This is it. And, yeah, like the 7 of Swords, it's a tricky card to me because whenever it comes up, I'm always like, oh, but it's like the questionings, the ick, the unknown, the little white lies, all those little things that like constantly go through your mind when you really don't trust someone. Thinking like, are they lying to me about this? Well, I'm not going to be honest about this. Maybe this would lead to this. Like, it's just like, it'd be done. Like, all that kind of like garbage, that nonsense, that static. It's just, it wouldn't be there anymore. And I think there's a little bit of that, and yeah, and it just needs to go away. It needs to dissipate. It's not there in a major way, but like, this is what your person wants from you. They want this soft, they want you to trust. Yeah. And it's such a direct message, and I like it because I think it's something all of us need to do in a relationship, and a dynamic. So I think it's very, specific. Sorry, there's a thunderstorm outside and I just got distracted. But this is what they want from you. This is the thing they want, and this will help you guys so much. Okay. And also with trust comes a lot of other things potentially. Like it does come forgiveness. It does come conversations about what happened, like showing vulnerability around that happening or that event or what's transpired. There's a lot there. And I do think like so much gets mended once you actually can trust someone. So yeah, these are fun cards. They're random messages about what, I don't know they're a gift from spirit. This is a gift from spirit. What's going to help you bring up a conversation about why and how you can trust this person. I worded that really weird. Energy work. Okay. I stand by that. Create art. Okay. I do think in you coming around and being like, I want to trust you. I do trust you. I'm going to do this differently, whatever. I do think there's a lot of confidence. You have to be so confident and so secure in yourself to pull this off. And I really, really, really think you're there, or you're almost there, or you're mostly there. But I do think creating art, your own creative outlet, this is such a confidence building thing. Like this is yours. This is your thing. You can dump your passion into this, your frustration. So if you do have an element of art that you've done, I mean, this could be like baking, drawing, singing, making things out of clay, whatever it is. It can be so little or seemingly minute, but if that's your creative outlet and it brings you that passion and you kind of like disappear into this space, then I think there's something to that. And energy work, this definitely, we talked about this whole like tapping into that kind of like third eye, throat, crown chakra, but it's everything from like meditating to just kind of like truly finding a way to relax, to feel like just zened out, whatever that means. But I honestly think art brings you there. I think you can really do a lot of energy work and feel yourself and feel confident and feel like so whole outside of this whole situation, outside of your partner, by just really finding that like creative passion. And I don't know, like there's a strong message here about that, about like you just also kind of finding yourself again. Not just deciding one day that you trust, but like finding yourself. Like if you lost trust because of, there was something that happened, I don't know, just from preventing mistakes from being repeated on both parties' sides. I think something about you just getting some confidence, leading into your, anyway, that's a whole other reading. So I don't even want to go there or open that door, but you are confident. And I really think something with a creative energy will help that. I hope you got something out of this reading. I really do. And I'm sorry if it felt heavy or dark or kind of like all over the place, but there is a message here. And I just think the message is so simple that like, I can only tell it. I've beat a dead horse, but, I do feel like there's this kind of enlightened piece of you. There's something very like spiritually, it's getting spiritually awakened in you. And this doesn't mean you have to like start going to church. This is like a whole like dancing naked under the moon vibe. Like you're leaning into something, you're becoming something, and it's exciting. It's sensual. It's all sorts of things that maybe you weren't last month or last year. So there is kind of like this new you that I feel emerging. And this is what you have to show your person. You don't have to be the same person that you were before. And with this comes someone who's confident, someone who expresses himself, someone who can trust, someone who creates, someone who's got these passions. It's like a whole new you. So I hope you're still here and you listen to that piece because I think it's important. Someone who gardens. Gosh, there's a gardening piece here too. Okay, thank you so much for watching. Like, subscribe, comment if any of this checked out. Okay, thank you so much. I hope to see you again. Goodbye.